Something unexpected is unfolding at Chiefs minicamp. Early tremors that suggest the preseason might not unfold as smoothly as anticipated. Surprising standouts, uncharacteristic blunders, and simmering tension are beginning to reshape the outlook for pivotal roster spots. Forgotten names are re-emerging from the shadows, forcing established veterans to defend their turf, while others are under more scrutiny than ever before beneath Kansas City's bright red banner. Amidst the noise, a few subtle moments, nearly overlooked by observers, may very well become defining turning points of the offseason. Position battles are intensifying, reputations are on the line, and the competitive fire is already smoldering long before training camp kicks off. What's happening behind the curtain could determine how this team takes the field in Week 1. But first, make sure to hit that like button and stay locked in for exclusive Chiefs coverage. Minicamp is underway in Kansas City, and already unexpected twists are dominating headlines. Let's start with a jaw-dropper. All-pro cornerback and fan favorite Trent McDuffie was surprisingly bested not once but twice on day one. First, Isaiah Pacheco blazed past him down the sideline for what would have been an easy touchdown. Then, Juju Smith-Schuster recently re-signed muscled past McDuffie to secure another big gain. These aren't the kinds of highlights we're used to seeing made at McDuffie's expense, but before the kingdom hits the panic button, breathe. This is still minicamp. No pads, no full contact, just elite athletes shaking off the rust. Still, it was jarring. McDuffie doesn't typically get outplayed, certainly not twice in a single day. What does it mean long-term? Likely very little, but what it does reveal is just how competitive this secondary truly is. Jaylen Watson is back at full strength. Christian Fulton, newly added from the Chargers, is already turning heads. And even rookie corner No Williams, despite early hiccups, shows flashes of potential. If anything, McDuffie's minor missteps are a testament to how stacked and sharp this unit really is. Now let's pivot to a name that's rapidly gaining steam, Tyquan Thornton. The former Baylor speedster and ex-Patriot is making a serious push for a final wide receiver. He's impressed throughout OTAs and now is earning reps as a special teams gunner. That kind of versatility could be his golden ticket. He's in a tight battle with return ace Nico Remigio. Nico's special teams explosiveness has been his calling card, but if the staff sees more all-around value in Thornton, even if he's less dynamic on returns, the edge could swing his way. It's a classic preseason dilemma. Lean on proven production or roll the dice on higher upside. And while we're on battles, few are drawing more attention than the duel for starting left tackle between Josh Simmons and Jaylen Moore. Simmons, the first-rounder out of Ohio State, is clawing his way back from injury, attacking every rehab session with urgency. He's logging 2 days, even 3 days, doing everything possible to be ready. But here's what speaks volumes. Simmons is studying Jaylen Moore, the man he's trying to unseat. That level of humility, respect, and hunger says a lot. Simmons understands what's at stake, and that iron sharpens iron. Even if he claims the starting job, Moore could kick inside to guard, bolstering an already formidable offensive front. Also worth noting, the character concerns whispered about Simmons during the draft, nowhere to be seen. So far, he's been all business, all grind. If anything, he's displayed a level of discipline and maturity that exceeds his age. But now, let's shift the spotlight to a name that's been far too quiet in recent headlines, Marquise Hollywood Brown. After suffering an early setback in the 2024 preseason, Brown's late-season return left much to be desired. But now, he's rejuvenated, laser-focused, and on a mission to remind the league exactly who he is over the course of a full, healthy season. Patrick Mahomes has been effusive in his praise, commending Brown's relentless work ethic and positive influence inside the facility. If this version of Hollywood channels his Baltimore prime, where he posted over 1,000 yards as a WR1, he might just be the secret weapon in what's quickly becoming the deepest wide receiver core the Chiefs have fielded in years. With Rashee Rice on the verge of a breakout and rookie Xavier Worthy bringing explosive speed and scheme flexibility, Brown doesn't need to be the guy. But as a WR3, he could be one of the most dangerous in the league. Now let's talk trenches and the under-the-radar acquisition of Jerry Tillery on the defensive line. Fresh off a stint in Minnesota, Tillery has already embraced the Chiefs' championship ethos. He made it clear. Expectations here aren't just high, they're sky high, and he's not just here to fill space, he's here to elevate, to prove he belongs on a roster built to chase history. That's the mindset you want from a veteran free agent. This isn't about collecting checks. It's about earning stripes in a system that demands excellence. Only 2 days into minicamp and the questions are piling up. Questions that could define the 2025 campaign. Can McDuffie rebound and reassert himself as an elite lockdown corner? Will Tyquan Thornton edge out Nico Remigio in the WR6 battle? Is Josh Simmons ready to seize the left tackle spot? And if so, does Jaylen Moore become the next elite guard in KC's stacked offensive line rotation? Will Hollywood Brown resurrect his career and become Mahomes' most lethal deep threat? And can Jerry Tillery become the disruptor that ties the entire defensive front together? That's just the beginning of this evolving minicamp saga, and it's only heating up from here. Chiefs Kingdom, I want to hear from you. What do you make of McDuffie's early struggles? Are you backing Thornton or Remigio? And is Hollywood Brown poised for a redemption run that no one saw coming? Drop your takes in the comments right now. And don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more exclusive insight as the offseason unfolds. Because here's the truth, the Chiefs aren't just trying to defend a title, they're rewriting the standard. As minicamp evolves, the storyline shifts from individual performances to something much deeper. Culture, commitment, and championship. Jerry Tillery's words should echo throughout the locker room. There's a very high level of expectations on everybody. It's important to buy in quickly. That's not just a quote, it's a mandate. In Kansas City, it's not about joining a team. It's about stepping into a dynasty. This team doesn't just demand talent, it demands transformation. You either elevate or you exit. And we're seeing that mindset embodied in Josh Simmons. Once tagged with pre-draft character concerns, Simmons is rewriting the narrative. He's grinding, soaking up every rep, studying veterans like Jaylen Moore, and proving he's here for the long haul. Whether he starts day one or not, the Chiefs made a sharp, calculated bet, and it's paying off. As for Hollywood Brown, his redemption arc could be one of the most powerful stories of the year. Last season was marred by injury, but this year, the runway is clear. He has Mahomes' trust, less pressure to carry the offense, and the perfect opportunity to thrive. While defenses lock in on Rice and Worthy, Hollywood could be the overlooked threat. The one who quietly dismantles secondaries with his speed, precision, and experience. All signs point to one conclusion: the Chiefs aren't just maintaining excellence, they're preparing to ascend even higher. The hunger is still real, the fire is still burning, and with a roster blending proven champions and hungry newcomers, the path to a historic three-peat isn't fantasy, it's on the horizon. So once again, Chiefs Kingdom, it's your turn. Who are you watching closest? Can Simmons lock down the blind side? Will Hollywood Brown torch defenses again? Is McDuffie ready to silence the doubters? Drop your comments, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because this isn't just another NFL offseason. This is the prelude to greatness. Hold up, y'all are not ready for what I'm about to drop on you about the Kansas City Chiefs and this so-called championship offense. What I'm about to reveal might rattle your confidence or reignite your fire. Either way, you're going to feel something, because this latest ranking, it's wild. Chiefs Kingdom, before we dive into the heart of this controversy that's got the whole NFL world buzzing, I need you to do 3 quick things. Smash that like button if you ride with the Chiefs through every high and every low. Drop a W in the comments if you still believe in this offense, or an L if you're starting to have doubts. Subscribe and turn on those notifications, because I'm about to break down a truth bomb that every real fan needs to hear. What I'm about to share may just shake the very foundation of what you think you know. Let's talk about the ranking that had me doing a double take, because when I saw it, I couldn't believe my eyes. According to Pro Football Focus, the Kansas City Chiefs, your back-to-back Super Bowl champions, were ranked 12th overall in offensive power. I'll let that sink in. 12th. Like they're just another middle-tier wildcard hopeful, barely scraping together points. As if they didn't just hoist the Lombardi twice in a row. As if Patrick Mahomes, the most gifted quarterback of this era, isn't leading this unit. As if this team hasn't been the blueprint for offensive greatness for the last 6 years. This isn't just a slight, it's an insult. It's a slap in the face to everything Brett Veach, Andy Reid, and Mahomes have built. But before we go all in on roasting this ranking, let's talk context. Because the 2024 season, it wasn't a collapse. It was a war of attrition. Let's start with the brutal truth. Injuries ravaged this offense. And not your usual week-to-week ankle tweaks. We're talking about cornerstone players, foundational pieces of this dynasty falling left and right like dominoes in a hurricane. The offensive line, normally the silent strength behind Mahomes' brilliance, became a carousel of inconsistency, leaving him scrambling for survival on more snaps than anyone's willing to admit. When the most gifted quarterback in the NFL is constantly dodging pressure, unable to step into his throws, forced to play magician just to get the ball out, something's wrong. And defenses smelled blood. Teams cracked the code in 2024, rush 4, drop 7, and muddy the passing lanes. That's all it took. They generated pressure without blitzing, forcing Mahomes to throw into crowded zones and scramble before plays could even develop. Even Superman has a weakness. And for Mahomes, it's facing relentless interior pressure without room to breathe. But here's where it gets real and why this PFF ranking is dead wrong. Kansas City didn't take that loss lightly. They didn't just lick their wounds and hope for better health. They responded. Brett Veach went to work. He identified the weak points, addressed the trenches, and brought in reinforcements to fortify Mahomes' fortress. The offensive line isn't just patched, it's rebuilt. If this unit holds and Mahomes has time to scan the field like he did in 2018, 2019, 2022, it's game over. Let's talk receipts. 2 Super Bowl rings, 2 Super Bowl MVPs, 2 regular season MVPs, 4 AFC championship appearances in 6 years. This isn't some flavor of the month offense. This is a dynasty. This is Patrick Mahomes. This is Andy Reid. This is the gold standard. So to rank this unit 12th, that's not just lazy, it's reckless. It ignores the context, it dismisses the comeback, and it underestimates a team that's been built for the long game. And guess what? That underestimation, that chip on the shoulder, might just fuel the next Super Bowl run. Let's talk about the wide receiver core. Another area where analysts are completely undervaluing what the Kansas City Chiefs truly bring to the table. Yes, the group took some hits due to injuries in 2024, but the core nucleus is returning, and the infusion of young, explosive talent could reshape the entire offensive landscape. Rashee Rice continues to be the name on everyone's radar, and rightfully so. He flashed brilliance as a rookie, and if he can stay healthy while deepening his chemistry with Mahomes, he could be the X factor that catapults this offense back into juggernaut territory. Rice has it all: the size, the speed, the route running polish, and if he makes the leap, we're looking at a legitimate WR1 in the making. Having that kind of reliable target for Mahomes is the dividing line between a good offense and a Super Bowl caliber one. And then there's Xavier Worthy entering his sophomore campaign and ready to explode. He's not just fast. He possesses game-breaking defensive back crippling speed, the kind of speed that turns a 5-yard slant into a 70-yard touchdown if the safety takes a half step in the wrong direction. In Andy Reid's creative, spacing-focused offense, a vertical threat like Worthy is invaluable. He forces defenses to stay honest, no more loading the box, no more crowding the line, just wide open lanes for Mahomes to exploit. Don't sleep on rookie Jaylen Royals either. The Chiefs have a proven track record of uncovering gems at wide receiver, and Royals could be another one. He's hungry, he's talented, and with Kansas City's elite coaching and developmental pipeline, it's only a matter of time before he makes noise. Put that kind of raw talent in an offense led by Mahomes and designed by Andy Reid, that's a recipe for immediate impact. But here's where I really take issue with that PFF ranking and why Kyle Sapp's assessment completely misses the mark. He had the audacity to claim the Chiefs have become a not if, but when we peak sort of team, as if that's a bad thing. Are you kidding me? Let me break this down for anyone who clearly doesn't understand how dynasties are built. Championship organizations know how to pace themselves. They don't burn out chasing October headlines or November MVP buzz. They build, they grow, they develop, and when the time comes, when the lights are brightest and the stakes are highest, they strike. Look at the Patriots during the Brady-Belichick era. They didn't always have the flashiest offense during the regular season, but come January, come the postseason, they flipped a switch and ascended to another level, a level few teams could ever match. That's what championship DNA looks like. And that's exactly what Kansas City has shown time and time again. Let's not forget, this offense finished outside the top 10 in 2024 while battling injuries, constant pressure, and the weight of being the hunted instead of the hunter, and still won the Super Bowl. That's greatness. Sapp goes on to say the odds of the Chiefs finishing higher than 12th don't seem likely. I say nonsense. This offense has too much firepower, too much experience, and too much championship pedigree to be shackled by preseason speculation. When you have Patrick Mahomes under center, Andy Reid orchestrating the scheme, Travis Kelce still demanding double teams, and a wide receiver room full of explosive potential, you've got the ingredients to detonate any defense in football. The real question isn't if this offense can be elite, it's whether they want to unleash their full arsenal in Week 5 or save it for the AFC Championship game. And don't get me started on the AFC West. According to those same rankings, Kansas City still holds the highest rated offense in the division. Denver sits at 16th, the Chargers at 17th, and Las Vegas all the way down to 29th. That matters. Divisional dominance is a massive advantage. It means 6 games where the Chiefs can experiment, test schemes, and develop talent without being in constant shootout mode. Denver has a rookie QB in Bo Nix and is still searching for offensive identity. The Chargers are unpredictable, talented, but injury-prone and erratic. The Raiders, they're in full rebuild mode and years away from contending. This disparity allows Kansas City to refine their system, rest their veterans, and sharpen their weapons without the same urgency other contenders face. That's a hidden edge, a luxury, a strategic advantage most teams would kill for. But here's the larger issue with these rankings, and it extends beyond just Kansas City. We become obsessed with analytics, projections, and highlight stats, and we've forgotten what really matters: winning. When it counts. The Kansas City Chiefs have done that. Back-to-back Super Bowls, playoff dominance, historic comebacks, overcoming injury, media doubt, and relentless pressure, and still hoisting the trophy. Yet somehow, some way, this offense, this machine of late season execution is being disrespected. That's not just oversight, that's ignorance. Championship teams aren't built to win in May rankings. They're built to conquer in February. They don't worry about preseason hype. They worry about postseason glory. And this Chiefs offense has repeatedly delivered when it mattered most. Remember the Super Bowl against San Francisco? For 3 quarters, it looked like the offense had lost its spark. They were out of sync, off rhythm, and then Mahomes took over. Kelce turned it up, Reid unleashed the chessboard, and they closed the show like champions. That's not luck. That's not coincidence. That's legacy. So keep underestimating them, keep ranking them low, because while the critics focus on stats, Kansas City is focused on banners. Thank you guys. See you next video.